It's finals week on Great British Menu. 24 of the country's top chefs have been battling it out, and now just 8 remain. There have been highs.
That deserves a 10.
And lows.
So in 8th place is Will.
But now it's a fight for the ultimate prize. The honour of cooking at a glorious summer banquet to be hosted by the Prince of Wales, who'll be accompanied by the Duchess of Cornwall.
Day 2, the fish course, and my favourite course.
I think things get really hot today because those chefs who didn't do as well, this is their big opportunity.
And I'm personally very interested in the quality of the fish, so I'm really looking forward to today.
But to secure a place at that feast, the chefs are going to have to work harder than ever, because this year the final decision rests with the judges and the judges alone. There will be no public vote. However, in a twist, each day the panel will be joined by a different veteran of the competition, a chef with first-hand experience of cooking at such a prestigious event. So the pressure is on.
It sort of puts a total new spin on it, because you think you know what the judges want. But now, because there's a chef, it sort of turns everything on its head.
It's day 2, and the 8 finalists are preparing to do battle again.
Starter's gone. That's 1 out of 4 chances I had to put a dish in front of Prince Wales.
Last year the pressure was hard. This year's immense. It's going to be a hard week this week.
So today the fight is on for the fish course. Scotland's Alan Murchison and Niall McKenna from Northern Ireland are first to arrive in the Great British Menu kitchen.
Hello there. Hopefully an improvement on yesterday.
They're closely followed by the Southwest's Nathan Outlaw.
All right. Morning, guys.
Last year's winner, Kenny Atkinson from the Northeast. And Welshman Aled Williams. Next is Lisa Allen from the Northwest, followed by Will Holland from the Central region, and London and the Southeast's Tom Kerridge.
Tough day yesterday?
Yeah.
So what are you all up to today?
I'm just looking for improvement on 8th.
Well, maybe 7th.
Yeah, 7th will do.
With a chance to get their starter onto the menu for the banquet already gone, the chefs know they will have to pull out all the stops to make sure they get their dishes into the top 3 today.
I think everybody's just going to go out there today and fight for what they believe in, what their dish is, and I'm certainly going to do that with my dish.
Some people have been knocked. They want to come back fighting. It's going to be a tight one today.
The chefs were challenged to find as many ingredients as possible from close to a National Trust property in their region, as this year's competition is a celebration of the very finest locally produced food. The final banquet will honour the Prince and his guests, the farmers and food producers whose ingredients have helped get the chefs this far in the contest.
I haven't come all this way from up north to go home empty-handed. I want to beat that banquet, and I'm going to fight tooth and nail to get there.
Success is within their reach, but first they have to impress the judges. And this year it's even tougher, as there's a 4th person to please. A Michelin-starred chef who's won a place at the banquet not once, but twice. It's Glyn Purnell. He'd usually stand shoulder to shoulder with his fellow chefs, but now he's switched allegiance.
Good to see you.
It's nice to be here.
What do you think they're feeling like now?
The pressure's, it's such a rough week, to be honest with you. I mean, you guys don't know half of it, to be honest with you.
Well, to be honest, we're about to put some more pressure on them because although we're going to score them all, we'll tell the top 3 that they are the top 3, but we won't tell them their ranking. They won't know who's first, second and third.
You just know that they're in the pack.
They're in
the
there.
feed, yeah.
And at the end of the week, we will be able to make a good menu because we will have a choice of 3 in each course to fiddle around with.
Not just a good menu, the Great British Menu.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For Prince Charles.
With cooking about to start, the chefs make their way to the judging chamber to receive their orders. The competitors can make tweaks to their original dishes, but can only completely change one from their 4-course menu.
Well, good morning, chefs.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yesterday was a tough day, wasn't it?
Long day, yeah, long day.
Well, it's going to be just as tough today, if not tougher.
It's fish course today, and we have Glyn Purnell with us. And Glyn is a veteran of 2 competitions, and I don't know if you remember, but he won the fish course, so he knows what he's talking about.
So there'll be no friends today. I'm on the other side of the fence. I'm in whites, but I'm not cooking. We're just looking forward to tasting some good food.
Who's changing dishes today?
I'm changing my dish totally.
Totally changing.
I'm changing the presentation of my dish.
Portion size, just make it smaller.
I'm actually changing mine as well. Well, half of it.
Is it going to be anybody doing the same dish, by the way?
Well, I'm sure you want to get on with the cooking, and so good luck.
Thank you. Cheers.
As day 2 begins, the pressure to get a top 3 ranking today is immense. And Glyn's reputation for funky food is leaving the chefs jittery.
Get another hard one to impress.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Glyn's got his own style and he's got his own views on food. Yeah, but he's not going to hold any punches.
Oh, absolutely not.
He'll be looking for that sort of creative side more than maybe...
That's his forte, so I don't know if my dish will be his thing.
Glyn's got a very distinctive style of food in it. The dish I'm doing might be too traditional and too safe for him.
Glyn, serving food to him, you know, is an honour, but it is daunting as well.
The chefs will cook in groups. And first on today's programme, it's Niall McKenna from Northern Ireland, Aled Williams from Wales, and Scotland's Alan Murchison.
Here we go, guys. Day 2.
As we all know, all the best produce comes from Scotland or Wales or Ireland, along with most of the best chefs as well.
It didn't come across yesterday, did it?
Yeah, no. We were sort of bottom of the pack yesterday, weren't we?
First to cook is Alan Murchison, whose lobster cocktail brought a smile to the judges' faces in the regional heats.
What I really loved about it was that it came in a Knickerbocker Glory glass.
The lobster was absolutely perfectly cooked, and there's a lovely sense of balance between the layers as you went down.
But this is a potential winner. This is one of the standout fish courses.
I'm changing my dish. I'm changing the presentation of it. So my fish dish, it's a little bit of a gamble.
In a bid to impress the judges, Alan starts on the tweaked ingredients for his dish, taking tarragon leaves and drying them out in the microwave, and using his much-loved dehydrator to make tomato crisps.
Alan, at what moment did you decide to change a fantastic dish? Well, the judges absolutely love. What moment was it that you decided, right, that's it, I have to change it?
Probably about an hour ago. I actually think I know best, so I'd like to think I'm hopefully going to improve it. I had tarragon on the original dish. I've still got tarragon there. Yeah. I've just got a crisp. I've got tomatoes, but I've taken a tomato crisp. I've just added a little bit more to it, so we will see. Maybe it's just showing more effort, or maybe it's just tinkering for the sake of it.
Changing it at this late date, I mean, that is, like, especially the amount of ingredients he's got on the one plate. He's a brave. That's hardcore, you know. It's madness.
Thinking about changing my mind here again. I've had too much time.
Ooh. Alan can only hope that the judges disagree with Niall. He motors on with his dish, plating up lobster meat, the lobster claw and tomato crisps, the lobster antennae, and shredded romaine lettuce.
It's a funny-looking glass you've got there.
It's a flat glass.
Why have you changed it from being in the glass?
The presentation of it would have been difficult to keep it really clean for the numbers, because obviously this dish is going to win today, and what I'd like it to do is to be consistent. Obviously it's going to win today.
It seems nothing will shake Alan's confidence in his dish. On goes the lobster tail and seafood foam.
Is that bisque in there, is it?
It is. A bit of lobster bisque, bit of that. Bing bong bosh. Go, go, go. Run, Forrest, run. Very happy with the way it cooks. I'm very happy with the dish. Is it a top 3? I would hope so. Well, this has had a bit of a facelift.
I love the Knickerbocker Glory look of the previous presentation. But this one looks just as celebratory.
It's pretty dramatic with the antennae coming through the room. Nice colours. I'm not sure whether the tarragon should be crispy or whether it should be limp.
Oh, it is actually...
It was crispy.
It's dried, isn't it?
Mine was a bit limp.
I think it was slightly warm, if I remember rightly. And this is cold.
What about the claw, Matthew? Is that cold?
It's cold. It looked really beautiful when it went down. I don't like it, though.
You loved it last time. You loved the lobster.
I did. I'm a bit scared now. I don't think the combination of flavours are working as well, because I think the tomatoes and the sauce are not working together. I think there's a seasoning issue all over the place, and it's an imbalanced dish.
I actually think the flavours do actually go together, blend together. It's light, it's fresh.
The problem with the dish is that it's slightly under-seasoned, there's no acidity, and it's a little bit flat.
I think this is the real triumph of presentation, because he's produced a second way of making a lobster cocktail look amazingly exciting and pretty and inviting.
The problem is it looks so beautiful. It's such a delicate-looking dish that my expectation from it has not been met on my palate.
Maybe the difference in the flavour for you is maybe that the lobster was warm last time, so it was slightly stronger in flavour.
He has changed something we never asked him to change.
Whenever I've had the brief in the last couple of years, I've always had one dish that I've had complete and utter confidence in. I don't think he's confident in that dish. He's changed it, he's changed the temperature, he's changed the way he dressed it. Maybe he's lacking in confidence in his own dish.
So that's a thumbs down from the judges. But what about Alan's fellow chefs?
I can't believe he's changed it. From an eating point of view, it eats very easily because it is spread out. But I think there's some quite glamorous and getting that nice cocktail glass.
Showpiecey.
It is.
Showpiecey.
Don't tell him.
Are you pleased?
I don't know where I go back to putting it in a glass.
I might go backwards, you know, and yeah, I'm kind of torn.
So has Alan blown his chances of serving up his fish course at the banquet for the Prince and the producers?
The presentation was fantastic, but I just thought it lacked seasoning and also acidity. 6.
I didn't think that whole sort of mix worked well together. I think it was better before, so for that reason I'm going to give it a 6.
He abandoned the Knickerbocker Glory glass, and yet when it arrived, I thought it looked wonderful, but the lobster was no longer warm, so I'm going to give it a 7.
Well, I think this was a classic case of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Nevertheless, I thought it was actually a beautiful piece of cooking, and what was extraordinary to me is it was light. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 7.
Welshman Aled Williams is up next. He came in at a lowly 7th place yesterday with his starter.
Today's a new day. You know, yesterday was a bit of a disappointment, but, you know, I really want to get in there, I really want to push on and, you know, get in the top half.
His fish course of sea bass with brown crab, fennel puree and tomato and herb dressing got a mixed reaction in the regional heats.
Well, I thought Aled was rather generous in his fish course because he gave us 2 dishes for the price of 1. And notice he said he's simplified it, he's cut down to 1 element. I really liked the sea bass on it, so it'd be interesting to see whether he's kept it or whether it's the crab.
Aled starts by flaking the meat for his crab balls. Then he moves on to the potato spaghetti that will form the outer coating. But there's no sign of the sea bass that Matthew liked so much.
Alan, last time I went with sea bass and brown crab. The judges thought it was 2 dishes on 1 plate, so I've taken the bass off.
Beautiful.
Alan, I definitely think you made the right decision there, changing that there.
Aled can only hope that Niall's right as he wraps the spaghetti around the crab meatballs. It seems that news travels fast in the Great British Menu kitchen.
Hi, Kenny.
So Aled risky changing it at this stage? Competition?
For me, I really liked my first thing and they didn't. So
how many bonbons are you going to get per person?
3. I gave 1 last time.
So you're going to need a lot of fryers on the banquet, aren't you?
Well, the thing is, you know, yeah.
You go down like a sucker on that. There's no doubt about it at all.
Ignoring Alan's voice of doom, Aled presses on with his dish. He plates up fennel, followed by tomato and herb dressing and thinly sliced radish.
Aled, you going to be ready, mate? You've got 8 minutes, according to my watch.
These take about 90 seconds in the fryer.
Well, obviously you have to do a few for chefs as well before we get out there.
Well, of course, but, you know, at the end of the day, priority is by the judges, isn't it? So get them right and then worry about you monkeys later on.
Ooh, cutting. Monkeys.
And if Aled stands any chance of winning today, he'd better hope that his deep-fried crab balls or bonbon are up to scratch. They complete his fish dish.
What's that? I got 1 extra.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah, thanks. I'll use that for you. You can all share that one.
The monkeys.
Great. Thank you very much. Personally, whether I can do 300 of them, that'll be tough work. But at the end of the day, I'm here to cook for the Prince of Wales, and if I could break a sweat for the Prince of Wales, yeah, I'd be an honour.